Yo, what's up? This is MooFish here, and pretty hyped about the new sequel to the Breath of the Wild. I think Nintendo kind of killed E3 with that, and Banjo. That was pretty cool. Overall, a pretty great E3 from Nintendo. There was Link's Awakening. I'm pretty sure there was actually 3 different Zelda games, which was pretty cool actually. And there was new Smash characters, which are always nice. Mario Maker 2 is coming out soon. It's an overall really good presentation. And I was just watching that freaking teaser at the end, not knowing what it was, and I was flipping out when I saw Link. That was crazy, and such a spooky trailer. Oh my god! Like what was that at the end? Holy shit! So all that got me thinking: if they're making a new Breath of the Wild, well then, what are they going to add to this game? What's different about this than the other Breath of the Wild? So I was thinking, there's some things I want in the next Breath of the Wild, and things that can improve the game's formula and mechanics further. So I made this video, in fact, for that exact reason. So without further ado, this is basically my 4 features encompassing what I want in the next Zelda game. So, one of the biggest complaints I hear about Breath of the Wild, and one of the biggest things that I think the game would have improved upon a lot more with, would be traditional dungeons. Like, we had the Divine Beasts in Hyrule Castle, and in the DLC packs there was the 5th Divine Beast, but these weren't traditional dungeons. They actually had new mechanics, such as the map terminal-based system of completing them, and there were still puzzles and there were still enemies inside them, and they still were really fun. However, I do, in fact, just like a lot of other people I've seen on the internet, miss the traditional dungeons, such as Ocarina of Time's beautiful dungeons, Twilight Princesses. These are pivotal to the Zelda formula, and they've been in the games ever since the beginning. And I feel like Breath of the Wild could really use a little bit of traditional dungeons. You got your forest, water, fire, shadow, desert. It would just work and fit in with the world so perfectly, and I can't wait to see if they actually include this in the sequel. The scope and the complexity they can make with the dungeons using the new formula and mechanics of Breath of the Wild, that'd be freaking awesome. And the second thing that I really want from Zelda is more mechanics, because the original engine of Breath of the Wild took a very long time to develop, 5 years actually, and it does have really cool things never really seen in AAA games before, like climbing on every surface basically. The weather cycle is actually quite advanced. The map was quite large compared to other maps, and I see this as they did their best in the original Breath of the Wild, but with the sequel they can improve upon certain things just by adding little things. When I mean my more mechanics is more like fishing. That made me mad that it wasn't in the goddamn game. And also the water mechanics, they were very nice, and there was a lot of boats, which was pretty fun in the original. But in the sequel, I believe that if you could go under the water, that would make 10 times more verticality to most of the map. It'd make things a lot more cool to explore. You can have underwater caves and secrets. That would be pretty cool. And in the trailer, actually, there's luminous stone in the water, which we haven't seen before. And potentially you could mine that without just throwing bombs in there. If you can actually go into the water. Maybe that's just like a speculation, but it kind of looks like they're trying to tease that. That would be awesome. They also need to improve the enemy variation. There's like 4 different types of enemies on the main map, the Breath of the Wild one. And like if you added in Dekubabas or some original Zelda enemies, the game would benefit from more diversity in the enemies, in the fauna, in the weapons that you can use. There's not many traditional Zelda items. I'm gonna sound pretty traditional by saying this, but more aspects from other Zelda games would improve further the Breath of the Wild formula and mechanics, and I just hope that the sequel might have some of that. So another one of my main problems with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was the story was kind of stupid how it was separated in memories and then the past and present. It wasn't clear and concise. There wasn't very much dialogue between the main story characters because all of the stuff that's cool and important happened 100 years before the game takes place. So I didn't like that very much. And I just hope that the sequel could have a more traditional story. It looks from the teaser, I can't even speak, teaser, that potentially the story could be more diverse, more complex, and not like separated into memories you have to find around the world, which was fun, but that's not the best way of storytelling. Come on, tell me, you know how to make stories. Like, you've seen Skyward Sword story, Twilight Princess, Link to the Past. If you take aspects from those, how different characters develop alongside you and not through past experiences that you get to view, I think the benefits would be great for the game. And the last thing that I like to touch upon was the creepiness and the dark tone of the teaser trailer was actually quite appalling. We haven't really had a scary-ish Zelda game in a while. Breath of the Wild had some aspects of it. The ones before it too. Twilight Princess was the last really dark one. And before that, the true master of that is Majora's Mask, of course. And I kept getting the vibe of those two games, Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask, because there was all these, the music was creepy, the atmosphere is creepy, and it seemed a lot like more violent and dire than we've seen before. So, could this be Nintendo trying to make a Majora's Mask style game? Because we got Ocarina of Time, which is very peaceful mostly, and it was a grand adventure in a land where you get to save everyone. It wasn't that riddled with dark tones, but then Majora's Mask is like the polar opposite, and it was produced with the same engine, same character models and textures, and it was produced actually in a very short amount of time. And I hope that that's what they're going to do with the sequel. I hope that it doesn't actually take the full development cycle. I could see probably like the best would be holiday 2020 is what I think for this sequel. Oh, sorry. And if we got a darker theme than Breath of the Wild, and maybe in a different world like Majora's Mask, but it's still gonna have most of the models and the game engine, I'd be fine with that. The same world design, that'd be great. Maybe even the same weapons and stuff. Potentially, maybe change the weapon system. But it's for another video. Essentially, Majora's Mask was great, and I think it actually was better than Ocarina of Time. If you've seen my other video, Top 10 Legend of Zelda Games, then you should go see that. But essentially, Majora's Mask improved upon Ocarina of Time and brought a whole new type of theme to the Zelda franchise. And I think that Breath of the Wild 2, if it did that dark style, would be great. That would be awesome, because you get more developing stuff. If it came with the traditional story, traditional dungeons, and different mechanics like I mentioned earlier, that would culminate into such a great video game. That'd be just great, wouldn't it? Breath of the Wild 2 with all this cool stuff. I mean, I'd buy it. I'm already gonna buy it, but I just want, this is like a wish list basically. That's just what I want to see in the next Zelda game, and I hope Nintendo, they're not gonna see this. They're probably gonna copyright strike it actually, but I hope they do at least some of the things that I mentioned in this video. So thank you for watching my quick video, about just a couple features I want in the next Breath of the Wild game. If you guys would like and comment what your opinions are on this topic, that'd be awesome. Subscribe if you're new, if you like the channel, but if you actually didn't like this video, it's okay, you can dislike it. I know Quinn's gonna dislike it on his 4 accounts again. That's okay. Right, anyway, thanks for watching, and you can click that annotation to see my other video, Top 10 Legend of Zelda Games. And bye. See you next video.